What's good, fam? Today, I'm going to talk about the tale we all know, the tortoise and the hare. Let's summarize it really quick before we dive into why it's so important and why I think the tortoise and the hare is a perfect simile for life. The tortoise and the hare starts off with both tortoise and hare agreeing to a race. The hare laughs, says, "There's no way you're going to beat me, man." And the tortoise is just like, "That's all right. We can still go for a race. I'm down for it." They grab a fox, someone to like initiate everything, and then they set the distance up and they go for it. The hare, laughing the whole time, starts hopping around, speeds way past the tortoise off the rip, and then goes and sleeps at a rock. And then the tortoise slowly but surely keeps going and going and going and passes the hare, and the hare is still sleeping, and the tortoise keeps going and going. And then the tortoise gets so close to the finish, and the hare wakes up, and the hare can't make it to the finish before the tortoise does, and the tortoise wins. And we all know the story. We've all probably heard it like 5 times, if not more. And the theme behind it is slow and steady wins the race. I can compare this to my life in a direct way when it comes to marathons. It's kind of ironic how they're both races, but when I signed up for a marathon, it wasn't out of ambition of me thinking I can just do a marathon. I think we all like to overestimate our abilities, thinking that we can do a ton of stuff, even though we might not be cut out for it. When I was running 2 to 5 miles and feeling really good, I still knew that there was a different level of training that I needed to do before I was ready to complete a marathon. I still knew that I had to take slow and steady steps before I could cross that finish line that I wanted to with a marathon. And that's okay, because the alternative was to ride the high that I was having with the 2 to 5 miles of the runner's high and then sign up for a marathon and blow up and not do well. And while there's no shame in failing, you should kind of know what you're getting yourself into, especially with a race like that. So slow and steady wins the race when I was training for a marathon. And it took me approximately 2 years before I even did a marathon. It took me from 2022 in April to, I guess it was a year and a half, 2023 September. So a year and a half of training, and then I was finally able to do the marathon, which is 26.2 miles, which, not to flex, y'all can do that. I'm not a Superman or anything. It's just I decided to go slow and steady and not quit, which brings me to another point. I think a forgotten theme in this book or this childhood tale is not quitting. Because at the beginning, literally the tortoise had haters. The tortoise had haters from the hare. The hare was the hater. And in life, when we set out to do goals and when we set out to do things that people are like, "There's no way you're going to do that. That's way too ambitious. Keep your dreams realistic." You're going to have haters. I'm just here to tell you the tortoise and the hare was not wrong in that sense. But if you don't fall asleep at the wheel and you go slow and steady towards making your dreams happen, you will succeed. I'm going to tell you a story on when I gave up on my dreams. It's one of my biggest regrets, and I think it'll be freeing and potentially relatable to some of you. I'm hoping that young adults and people similar to my age, but probably a little younger, listen to this. So I'll take you back to a time, it was about 10 years ago. I was 16, 17. I just started working for real. All right. When I was growing up, when I was 14 and 15, I had a YouTube channel and I started making a little money. I made $50 one month, $70 the next month, $100 the next month, $60 the next. I was bringing in steady-ish income for a 14, 15-year-old. I had maybe 5,000 subscribers, and I thought I was doing good in the neighborhood. You heard? But then I turned 16, and at least where I live, when you turn 16, you get your worker's permit and whatnot, and you get the green light to work. And I picked up 2 jobs pretty quickly. I picked up a job at my dojo teaching karate, and then I also picked up a job at a grocery store as a cashier. And as I saw those checks coming in, I was like, wait a minute, This is a couple $100 each week. This is way more than $50 a month, $60 a month, working hard doing YouTube, thinking of video ideas, editing. And when I was doing YouTube back in the day, it was mostly Minecraft and Call of Duty videos. I was mostly teaching tutorials on how to build houses and do redstone. All right, I was living every little kid's dream, doing Minecraft videos, showing off their world and whatnot. And I thought it was the dopest thing. But when I came into confrontation with money and quote unquote real job, I fell asleep at the wheel. I gave up my dreams. I was like, this is the way you do it. This is what adults do. And shortly after getting my second job, I actually deleted my channel because as I gave up my channel, I saw less and less growth, and I felt bad. I got like a pit in my stomach of like, I'm losing focus. I'm not getting as much traction as I used to. I'm not growing the way I used to, and it feels bad. I just don't want to see it anymore. I want to focus on being an adult and growing up. And I think we as teens and kids and young adults, we get tunnel vision on what does society say an adult does? What is the best thing for adults to do? How do I get there? I don't want to be looked at as a kid. I don't want to be looked at as this immature person chasing their goals. But as your Gen Z daddy, as the one who is the oldest in this generation, I'm here to tell you, dude, follow your dreams, man. It's for real. Nowadays, I work as a mailman. I work tons of hours, and I don't really feel a purpose. I'm holding on to that job because I do need money, and I do need to pay my bills, but I'm hoping that one day one of my passion projects really pays off, and I'm not bogged down by a boss. I'm not bogged down by, I have to go to work at 8 a.m. I want to be the dictator of my own days and what I spend my time with, and just don't give up on your dreams, because who knows what would have happened if I prioritized doing my YouTube a little bit more. I'm here to tell you that if there's something that you love doing, and it might not be the most practical at this point in time, like say you're about ready to go to college and you got this podcast that you really love doing, and you're thinking about leaving the podcast behind, but you really love it, but college is going to be too much, make time. Please, don't let adulting ruin what you love to do as a kid or what you love to do right now. Because who knows where we'll be in 10, 15 years. Maybe your podcast will be a hit. Maybe it'll take off and you'll be able to make some sort of income off of it. Maybe your podcast will bring you to a different network of people, and you'll find something that you actually love doing. It's okay to have your own passion projects that may not align with exactly what society says. I think when I was growing up, I was very ambitious about becoming independent. When I was 17 years old, I was caught on the idea of when I turn 18, I want to move out at all costs. Literally at 18, like a month after I turned 18, I was still in high school. I actually moved out from my house with my older brother, and we had our own apartment together. It was a different way of life. It was definitely interesting, but I was so laser focused on this is what an adult does. An adult is independent like this. And while it has served me great things, I don't think I regret moving out. I just regret the overarching theme of thinking I had to become an adult so quick. I felt like I had to grow up. I felt like I needed to do this and that I couldn't do this because it wasn't giving me money, which I thought was the end goal of everything. Because I'm here to tell you that money will buy happiness to an extent. If you can do what you want, an abundance of money won't make you happier. If you have a roof over your head and you're eating food, having more money will not make you happier, I don't think. From my experience. I could be wrong. So the big takeaways is slow and steady wins the race. Don't let people crush your dreams. Don't let haters get in the way of thinking you can't do anything. And don't even listen to what society says you have to do as you grow up. Like, You can still have fun. You can still do interesting things. You don't have to just go from a kid in high school to a workhorse immediately just to make a living and some money. You really don't. And I think one thing that goes unnoticed in this book is the tortoise actually had confidence to challenge the hare to a race. You have to have confidence to stand up to your haters and not let them bother you. Like, maybe you don't have to call them out and be like, hey, you can't be saying that about me, but you can't let what they say bring you down. You have to have the confidence to know that you're better than that and that you can prevail even with what they say. I think it is okay to go slow. It is okay to take your time and be in this for the long haul. A lot of things worth subscribing to, a lot of things worth putting a lot of effort to, don't happen overnight. For example, you don't train for a marathon and you're not ready to run one overnight. It takes months. It takes years. You don't make a YouTube channel and blow up overnight. You don't build a podcast and do a live show overnight. A lot of dreams that you have will take the slow and steady approach, and that is okay because slow is a speed forward. It is okay to go slow. Just don't stop. Don't give up on your dreams, Gen Z, because we got a lot of kids coming of age right now, and I just want to see you all thrive.